Magandang araw, Yusek Claire. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Nandito kami kasi tungkol sa Walang Gutom Food Stamp Program. We do this briefing to update our citizens kung ano na nangyari sa programa, ano naging resulta. Just as a recap or the top line data, kaya namin na ngayon sabihin na 600,000 na pamilyang Pilipino ang kumakain na ng tama. Mamaya, kasama ng mga fellows natin mula sa SWS, iisa-isahin nila ang detalye kung paano namin nasabi ito. Ayon to sa data ayon to sa isang field survey na isinagawa ng SWS that was commissioned by Globe. Nandito ang mga kaibigan natin sa Globe led by Yoli because tulad ng lagi namin sinasabi, ang pangit naman na kami ang nagmo-monitor at nagpapasurvey sa sarili naming programa. Globe, because they have a thrust in ending hunger katulad ng pamalaan, ang naging partisipasyon nila ay to commission SWS and their fellows to do regular impact assessment through field work, through surveys. No? Next slide. Just to give everybody a brief refresher, kung matatandaan nyo, yung programang Walang Gutom Food Stamp is an automated food stamp program. Binigyan ng electronic benefit cards ang ating mga benepisyaryo na bumibilang na sa 600,000. Yung mga electronic benefit cards, pumupunta sila sa mga kadiwa, sa mga market days organized in their basketball courts, or sa mga accredited retailers kung saan pwede nilang gugulin ang 3,000 na food credits kada buwan, food credits, para makapili among the food groups. 50% goes to carbohydrates, 30% goes to protein, 20% goes to dietary fiber. So yan yung tinatawag natin na Go, Grow, and Glow Foods. Ayon ito doon sa Pinggan Pinoy ng FNRI. Pero this is a conditional program, so sa tuwing nagre-redeem sila, uma-attend sila ng tinatawag namin na kalusugan, kakayanan at kabuhayan sessions wherein may food nutrition development sessions, tinuturuan sila kung paano kumain ng mura, masustansya at masarap na pagkain. Partner namin dito ang TESDA at ang DOLE para sa mga upskilling nila para makahanap sila ng trabaho bilang kondisyon. Now, nung first phase, nung 2024, nung una kami nagpunta dito, we were looking at 23 LGUs kung saan tayo nag-ooperate, 300,000 household. Nung 2025, nag-expand tayo to 51 local government provinces, local government units, na ang total na natin ay 600,000 beneficiaries. This year, the remaining 150,000 to form the entire 750,000 food poor families. Kasi matatandaan natin, ang target nito food poor families. Ayon sa PSA, may 750,000 tayo na rated na food poor families ay maipapasok na natin. Yung last 150,000, ang kanilang target beneficiaries, priority natin, mga pregnant and lactating women. Ayon sa direktiba ng Pangulo na siguraduhin na labanan natin ang stunting. Now, itong mga local government units na to, or itong mga provinces or provinces na ito, ay yung mga lugar na tinala na may mataas na incidence ng hunger, food insecurity at food poverty. Ang naging strategy ng DSWD ay work on these provinces, itaas natin ang kanilang antas pagdating sa mga indicators na to, para kapag nagpatakbo yung SWS ng kanilang regular survey on hunger, food insecurity, and food poverty, when we raise the national averages will go up kung yung mga nasa laylayan ng mga probinsya matulungan natin. Ito kasi yung mga probinsya na mataas ang incidence, kaya sila yung humihila sa national scores natin. So if we work on these provinces, maiangat natin ang estado ng kanilang kagutuman, food insecurity, and food poverty, hopefully, mag-reflect rin siya dun sa national averages natin. Last point, bago ko ipasa yung mikropono sa ating mga SWS fellows to explain the findings, the methodology, and all that, gusto kong ulit-ulitin na ang survey na to is commissioned by Globe. Hindi ho DSWD ang nag-commission. Ang kinuha nilang nag-field survey will be SWS dahil SWS yung nagpapatakbo ng regular na quarterly na survey on such topics. The questionnaire that we used, that Globe commissioned them to use, is the same questionnaire na ginagamit doon sa regular run nila quarterly. So ngayon siguro, yung next slides, ipapasa ko na sa mga SWS fellow natin kay Jay Sandoval to explain the dates and all that detail ng survey na to.
Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga. Jay Sandoval from SWS. Ang SWS po, nung nagsagawa ng survey at ang target natin dito yung mga pamilya dun sa mga mahihirap na probinsya sa Pilipinas. Ano? Sila yung food poor families. Ngayon, nagkaroon tayo ng 2,400 household respondents nung unang survey. Yung unang survey, yung tinatawag naming Wave 1, isinagawa nung February 24 hanggang March 8, 2026. Nagkaroon tayo ng 2,400 respondents. In-interview namin sila batay sa kanilang experience sa kagutuman, food insecurity, at saka food poverty. Tapos, after a few months, binalikan din namin sila noong June 22 to July 1, 2026. Mahalagang ibahagi sa inyo na yung unang set of respondents na na-interview namin noong February-March, sila rin yung parehong respondents na binalikan namin nitong June-July na survey. So, kumbaga, ito yung tinatawag na panel survey. At tinanong namin sila tungkol sa iba-ibang mga bagay. Una na dito yung kanilang karanasan sa involuntary hunger. At yung question na ito ay tulad ng mga ibang survey ng SWS, yung mga national surveys namin, na kung saan tinatanong namin yung respondents na nitong nakaraan 3 buwan, nangyari po ba kahit minsan na ang inyong pamilya ay nakaranas ng gutom at wala kayong makain? Tapos pag sumagot sila ng oo, ang follow-up question ay ito po ba ay nangyari ng minsan lamang, mga ilang beses, madalas o palagi? So iyon ang single question na ginagamit ng SWS upang masukat ang involuntary hunger. Ngayon, dun sa parehong survey, nagtanong din kami ng mga indicators tungkol sa food insecurity. Yung food insecurity naman, tinatanong namin yung mga respondents namin kung noong nakaraang 30 araw, nakaranas yung pamilya nila nung iba-ibang items. Halimbawa, nag-worry sa kanilang pagkain, hindi makakain ng masustansyang pagkain, kumakain ng kaunti lamang, kumakain ng smaller quantity or smaller variation ng food, among others. Tapos yung pangatlong indicator na sinukat ng SWS ay tungkol sa kanilang food poverty. Ito ay katulad ng self-rated poverty na sinusukat ng SWS na kung saan nagpapakita kami ng card sa aming mga respondents na may nakasulat na poor and not poor at a line in between, at tinatanong namin yung respondents, saan nyo ituturing yung pamilya ninyo sa card na ito, kung sila ba ay mahirap, hindi mahirap, pero may ibang respondents din na pumipili dun sa linya. Pero ngayon, sa survey na ito, tinatanong namin na gamit ang parehong card, saan nyo po ilalagay ang inyong pamilya batay sa pagkain na inyong kinakain, kung sila ba ay mahirap, hindi mahirap, at kung nasa linya. Ngayon po, dun sa resulta, ipapasa ko na po ang mikropono kay Dr. Roel.
Maraming salamat, Secretary Rex and Jay. So, unahin natin yung hunger indicator, no? When we did the survey nung first round, tinaya doon na about 1/3, no? 33.6% ang hungry, may nag-experience ng hunger according to the SWS definition. In 3 months, by the second round, sukat namin that prevalence went down to just 26.9%. That is a significant drop of 6.7 percentage points. Doon naman sa food security, medyo mataas yung baseline natin noong wave 1, ano? 94% can be considered as food insecure. Pero in 3 months na ipababa to just 89.3%. And finally, dun sa food poverty, medyo mas konti yung pagbaba nito, pero significant pa rin. Started with 79%, so hindi pa nagsisimula yung program, round 1, 79% na. After 1 round of the program, 77.6% ang binaba. Ngayon, maaari yung itanong na, paano naman how does that compare sa status quo? Baka naman kasi households improve on their own, di ba? Kasi every quarter, the economy grows. So, nag-collect din ang SWS ng survey ng mga non-beneficiary. And we ensured that the two groups are comparable to each other, except yung isang grupo may walang gutom program, yung isa as is, no? Walang programa. So, doon naman sa hunger indicator, mas mataas yung baseline nila, 38.3%. Tapos, after 3 months, nag-improve pero bahagya lang. 1.4% lang yung nag-improve. So, lamang yung improvement ng mga walang gutom beneficiaries by 5.3 percentage points, no? So, we can point this as evidence na may difference talaga na na-introduce yung programa sa rate at which you can reduce the hunger of households. Tapos pag tumungo naman tayo sa food security, actually baliktad, no? Bagamat bumaba yung food insecurity ng mga beneficiaries, tumaas ng munti, 0.6%. So, hindi mo lang naiwasan yan, pero nai-reverse mo at naibaba mo yan thanks to the Walang Gutom program. And finally, sa food poverty, ganun din yung kwento, from 84.4%, mas mataas nung baseline, nag-worsen pa, no, to 85.7%. So 1.4 percentage point increase. So not only was that avoided, that was reversed by 1.4% because of the Walang Gutom program. Thank you.
So now we'll probably give Yoli the floor to explain bakit sila interesado dito.
Thank you, Secretary Rex, and maraming salamat din po, Yusek Claire, and all of our partners here from SWS. First of all, the role of Globe here is really to be able to enable our third party, which is SWS, to make sure that what we are doing here in partnership with the DSWD actually works. This is the importance of data and transparency, no? Kaya po tayo, sa atin, kami po ang napiling partner ng ating DSWD para ipakita natin sa inyo na yung ating ginagawa with DSWD actually works for us. So, I'm really very, very happy that we are here to share with you. Alam ko na ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is hunger, but the results that the department has done is actually very good kasi nakikita niyo po yung reduction ng incidence of hunger at yung impact na ginagawa nila doon sa Walang Gutom program. Ang Globe po kasi, meron din po kaming programa and we call it Hapag Movement, which is also ang objective namin is really to address involuntary hunger. That's why we partnered with the SWD. But gusto ko lang pong balikan yung na-mention ni Secretary Rex, no? He mentioned something about child stunting. And to some degree, yung ginagawa po ng Walang Gutom ngayon is actually trying to address paunti-unti yung ating incidence of child stunting. Maring hindi po tayo very much aware kung gaano na po yung pervasiveness and prevalence nitong child stunting. But statistics, actually, it's 1 in 4 children. 25% na po. So, what we want to do is we want to be able to help address child stunting. And what we're trying to do is, kinakausap po natin si Secretary at ang kanyang mga USEC na nandito, if we can partner with other private sector companies in order to help us, parang all of us, trying to approach this together because you don't want to have a generation of children of Filipinos that's stunted. No? 1 in 4, that is the statistic. And yan na po ang susunod na ifo-focus natin with Globe's Hapag Movement, na ang gusto po nating magawa really is to help address child stunting in the Philippines. So again, we're very pleased with the results and maraming salamat po sa DSWD for choosing Globe to be the partner. And thank you also to the SWS team because they were able to come up with a study at maganda po yung kanilang methodology at ipinakita po sa inyo yung naging resulta.
So in closing, nagagalak kami to report and that we will also keep on updating the public dahil meron pang 3rd round and 4th round nitong fieldwork ng SWS within the year. Kasi nga tinatrack natin ang instruction ng ating Pangulo, maganda yung programa pero hindi pwede yung hindi natin sinusukat yung epekto ng programa or else that will be wasteful spending. So what we're trying to show now everybody is that yung programa is data-driven, targeted, food poor families, pati yung lokasyon, nag-ooperate lang kami kung saan mataas ang prevalence so that the overall strategy is iangat natin yung data ng mga nasalaylayan ng mga syudad, mga probinsya. Then hopefully, the next time around, pag nag-SWS survey ulit, yung regular nila na national, makita natin yung improvement. Once again, we pull up the localities na mataas ang hunger. Hopefully the national averages also improve. Kasi, di ba, every time lumalabas yung numero na yun, tinatanong kami lagi, ano ang ating ginagawa? Ito ang ating ginagawa. Alright, thank you. Questions?
Marami po salamat. Unang katanungan, Hardy Balbuena, IBC 13.
Sec Rex. Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Sir, we started with the food stamp program way back 2024, but our inflation rate has significantly risen since then. So, are we also considering on increasing the amount allotted for the food stamp? Yung 3,000 pesos po.
Very good question. Meron kami mga ongoing studies na we will make public shortly. That's being done naman together with ADB. That shows na merong threshold yung amount na pwede naming ibigay para maging effective. Just to give you a broad idea, we'll publish it soon rin naman, na meron doon kaming tinakbong pilot wherein we gave 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. Pero lumalabas sa dulo, yung epekto niya kung 3, 5, or 8 is pretty much the same as 3. Kasi nga, merong such a thing, may phenomenon na yung kahit dagdag ka ng dagdag ng binibigay, napupunta lang yung nadi-displace na pera ng pamilya napupunta sa iba, hindi sa pagkain. So, part nung study na yon is, the recommendation is a stronger behavioral change. Kasi ibig sabihin, may ibang prioridad pa rin yung, natural, may ibang prioridad yung mga pamilya at hindi pa rin pagkain, hindi balansyado, masustansyang pagkain. We'll make that study public. But second, we do understand though na itong nakalipas na energy emergency or kasalukuyang energy emergency, nakaka-apekto rin. That's why kung matatandaan nyo, doon sa sa group 1 ng uplift assistance, may top-up amount na 2,000 ang bawat walang gutom beneficiary. So cash yun na inaabot on top of the 3,000 na food credits. Patapos na tayo doon, by August 14, they should have been given their 2,000 pesos.
So, tama po, Sec, possibly, yung titingnan nating amount, 5,000 or 8,000.
No, ang sinasabi ko nga, doon sa study na ipapublish namin, patapos na yun, ADB, they'll show it to us, walang effect in terms of direct impact sa nutritional status ng pamilya. These indicators. Kasi nga, napupunta yung nadi-displace na amount na pera nila sa iba nilang pangangailangan, hindi sa pagkain necessarily. So baka kahit itaas namin ng itaas, nakakatulong sa pamilya pero hindi sa larangan ng pagkain, kundi sa larangan ng ibang bagay na importante rin sa kanila. Halimbawa, rental, school supplies, transpo, pero hindi kasi yun yung programa eh. The program is an anti-hunger program. By us adding more money pero hindi namin matranslate to direct results in reducing hunger, pagbaba ng food insecurity at pagbaba ng food poverty, mako-question nyo kami. Diba? It would have been another type of dole out na napupunta sa ibang bagay. But this is a social development program aimed at lowering hunger.